Hello everyone, myself Anik Sarkar. I am a MSc student at University of Madras, and today we are going to talk about linear linear equation for two variables and how we can solve those linear equations using two linear equation and find the value of both x and y variables. So there are four different methods of doing this. One is graphical method, and the rest of the three are algebraic method. But they are substitutional method. I think you all have learned the substitutional method. There is elimination method, and another is, which is the most trickiest one, is cross multiplication method. Today we will focus on cross multiplication. Before going there, let me tell you what's actually linear equation means. Linear equation means any equations that have a form of this: ax plus by equals to c, where a, b and c are constant. Here you can see in those two equations their form is very similar, where in this case b equals to -2, a equals to 3 and c equals to 3. So let's start discussing our cross multiplication method. So the cross multiplication is a very tricky method, but at the same time it is very important, because only using this method we can find, when in the problems where there is three or more variables, we can able to find a ratio between all those variables using only lesser equation. For example, if you can easily find the ratio between three variables using only two equations. So that's why it is a very important method in coordinating geometry, where we usually have three variable corresponds to the three coordinates. So in order to solve this method, we need to write this equation, both equation, like this. Now see, we have to only consider about the coefficient of each of every variables. So here the coefficient of 1 is x is 1, y is -1, and this is 2. We can write 2. For the second equation we can write similar things. Now we have to write a form like this before starting our process, calculation and the method. So see, now we have to do cross multiply. So when we do this portion, x portion, we have to cover up the x portion completely. So I cover up the x portion and multiply left from left to right. But for the next time, I will multiply for right to left. So first from left to right and right to left. So see, the multiplication become 3 here, and we have put a minus here, that is the part of this process, and then continue multiplying -2, which will be plus 4. But now for the case of y term, we covered the y term here, y coefficient term, and multiply. But interesting thing is, only for the y case we will not start from left to right. Instead we will start from right to left. So right, first we have to do right to left, and for the second case we have to do left to right. So it's very tricky and you have to remember it by just like in military march they say left right. So for the first case left, for the second case right, and for the third case we have again have to do left to right. So for y case we have to do right to left, so minus 2 plus 3 equals to minus 6 minus, we have to put minus and continue multiplying from this time from right to left. 1 minus 3 minus 3. And now for this one term we have to cover up the third term and multiply. Again we have to do right to left to right just as the first one. So left to right, minus 1 to minus 2, and the second case we have to do right to left. So minus 1 to 3, minus 2, minus 3. Now the next step is we have to equate this term with this term and then this term with this term. So first we have to equate 3 minus 4 1 by minus 2 plus 3 x equals to minus 1, and so we get x equals to minus 1 by equating this term and this term, and for the if we equate this term with this term we get minus 3 1 y equals to minus 3, and that's how using cross multiplication method we can easily find out the value of x and y in a linear equation containing two variables.